Hey guys. So yeah, welcome back. Welcome back. I can't even believe I'm back on my own YouTube channel actually because today was one of those days where I came this close to not being on the earth anymore. Some crazy drivers. I don't know whether it's like a deranger or a hater or a lunatic or a drunk person or maybe somebody who just got their driver's license. I mean, I don't know, but I came this close. You guys, I've never been so close to being killed, literally, in my life. So, yeah, today was not my day to die, I guess. She stopped literally as her car brushed my coat. You know, I mean, it was just insane. I was like, this, and it just seemed like she did it on purpose. And I'm like, why would someone do something like that? That's so weird. Anyway, so I'm still here for now, and I wanted to talk about the whole rage economy because I read something today about that and how Elon Musk's X, the guy who now runs X, I mean, everybody knows the guy who runs X, they have some new feature on their platform. I'm not on X, so I don't know, but I read that there's a new feature on the platform, and the feature tells you about the account, where the account is located. So apparently, this is really, really explosive just because it exposes a lot of these accounts as being fake in the sense that where you think the accounts are coming from, they're not. You may think the account is based in the UK and you sign up and the person is holding themselves out as a monarchist or a Meghan hater or a supporter of Kate and William or whatever the case may be. And it's not just within the context of Meghan and the royal family. It's platform wide. So it also exposed a lot of political accounts, showing that a lot of accounts, like especially pro Trump accounts, are really coming from places like Eastern Europe, Africa, and Asia. And they're not at all American based accounts. So this is really the talk of the town because what it's suggesting is that there's this rage economy where rage is selling across all social media platforms. I mean, the more raging you are, the more subscribers you get. People want rage. They want to rage themselves and they want to enjoy other people raging. And I would say that's definitely true on social media, on YouTube, where the platforms that are, yeah, rage filled platforms that spew rage and encourage rage in the commentary, etc., do much better. I mean, it's not even close. It's not even close. You these types of channels routinely get in the hundreds of thousands of views. Whereas over here, as I always say, I mean, before I don't know what they did with my channel, but I used to get maybe, between 500 and 1,000 views. Now, if I get 500 views on a video, it's like a good day. Um, so 500 views versus somebody getting 100,000 views routinely on a post. I mean, it's no contest. And so they would say and argue that it's because most people hate Meghan and that's why their YouTube channels are doing so well. But I think there's a lot more to it than what meets the eye. First, it's these a lot of these channels are fake. You know, they're not even real. I mean, they're increasingly using um AI voices and things like that, but it's not just that. It's the fact that they, you know, this rage thing is like these numbers, there's something off with the numbers themselves. 100,000, 400,000 views. This is bizarre, right? And then it just has this AI voice, and it's sounding like an American, or it's sounding like a British person, but it's not. It's like an account that's based in Pakistan or India, or I mean, I don't know, Southeast, wherever. I just said Southeast Asia, but Eastern Europe, Africa, even Nigeria, things like that. There's a lot of fakery in social media. And I think what Elon Musk's X is exposing is the root of it. I mean, where you think someone is coming from, they're not at all. I mean, okay, one might say, well, where am I based? I could be anywhere myself, right? Or if you want to know the truth, I'm right here in my bed. I'm right here in my bed. I am where I say I am. Okay, let's leave it at that. But a lot of these people with these YouTube channels are not where they say they are, and they're not who they say they are. And they're not doing this for the reasons they say they're doing it. It's just, it's a business, it's an industry. The rage, it's called the rage, it's an economy. It's an economy. It's called the rage economy, right? And they are saying these horrific, like just today, what this, Dior thing that I just did with somebody saying how about the dress and perfume that Meghan supposedly took made me absolutely mental in 2 seconds. I'm like, sue these people. But it's not so simple to sue these people. It turns out if they're in Pakistan, I mean, look, Melania Trump reached across to Slovenia one time to sue some people who tried to take her name and put it on a billboard or something. You can sue them no matter where they are. The French president and his wife, did they not come into the United States to sue Candace Owens? So, you can sue them wherever they are. But, this rage economy is very, very complex, and it's not very it's not easy to trace and track. I mean, okay, now with X, what X just did, it makes it easier to trace and track, but it is a very, very deceptive industry. Um, when I say industry, it's a very deceptive. Yeah, I mean, the whole thing is just deceitful and deceptive, you guys.